All right, let's get into it. Today, we're talking about something huge in the React world, state management. We're going to dive deep into Recoil, a library from the team at Meta that promises a more intuitive, powerful, and honestly, a more React-like way to handle your application's data. Look, if you're a React developer, you know this feeling all too well. You start with a simple component, everything's great, you add another one, and then another, and before you know it, you're just drowning in a sea of props, context providers, and tangled logic. It gets messy, and it gets messy fast. So before we jump into how Recoil solves all this, let's actually diagnose the problem. We're going to take a quick look at the common headaches that led the team at Meta to build Recoil in the first place. Okay, so here are the usual suspects, right? And they all have their trade-offs. UseState is amazing, but it's stuck inside one component. The Context API, it's great for avoiding prop drilling, but oh man, one tiny update can cause every component that uses the context to re-render, a real performance killer. And then there's Redux. It's incredibly powerful, for sure, but that mountain of boilerplate can just feel like way too much for a lot of projects. And this is exactly where Recoil comes into the picture. It's a completely fresh take coming directly from the people who created React. So instead of just patching up old ideas, they're giving us a whole new way to think about state, one that just feels right. The core idea, the whole philosophy behind Recoil, is this concept of atomic state. I want you to just forget about having one single giant object that holds all your app's state. Instead, you break your state down into these tiny, independent pieces called atoms. Any component can subscribe to any atom it needs, and here's the kicker: only that component will re-render when that specific atom changes. It is incredibly efficient. This right here, this captures the whole mental shift. We're moving away from a big, single box of state. Instead, you should think of it like a graph, a dynamic network of connected nodes, where data just flows and updates are all calculated automatically. This graph model is the real secret sauce behind Recoil's power. So how do we actually build stuff with this new model? Well, it all boils down to just two fundamental concepts you need to know: atoms and selectors. Seriously, these two things are pretty much all you'll need for most of your work. So what even is an atom? You know, the absolute best way to think about it is just like a useState hook, but for your entire app. It's a single subscribable piece of state. You define it once, and then any component anywhere in your app can read from it or write to it. It's that simple. And look how simple it is to make one. An atom just needs two things. First, a unique key that has to be unique across your entire application. Recoil uses this for debugging and things like that. And second, a default value to start with. And that's it. With just that, you've created a piece of shareable global state. Now for the other half of the dynamic duo, selectors. So if atoms are your raw state, your ingredients, then selectors are your computed state. They're the recipe. A selector is just a pure function that takes some atoms as input, runs some logic, and spits out a new derived value. And the most crucial part is that they're smart. They're reactive and memoized, which just means they only rerun their calculation when the atoms they depend on actually change. And here's what that looks like. Inside a selector, you have this get function. You just use it to get the current value from an atom. Then you do your thing. Maybe you calculate the length of some text or filter a list, whatever you need. And any component that's subscribed to this selector will automatically update whenever that original atom changes. It's all connected. Okay, this is where Recoil truly begins to blow your mind. We're talking about its built-in native handling of asynchronous stuff, like data fetching. This is almost always a huge pain point with other libraries, but in Recoil, it honestly just feels like magic. Think about it. With other tools, fetching data means you're wading through complex middleware like thunks or sagas. Recoil just throws all that complexity out the window. A selector can talk directly to an API. You just make its get function async and have it return a promise. That's it. Recoil handles all the hard parts of managing the loading, error, and data states for you. It's so clean. So how does this magic actually work? Well, Recoil is deeply, deeply integrated with React Suspense. When one of your components tries to read an async selector that's still waiting for data, Recoil just tells React to suspend. React then finds the nearest suspense boundary you've set up and shows your loading spinner. As soon as the data comes back, poof, rendering continues. It's a completely declarative way to handle loading states. Okay, one last superpower we gotta cover: atom families. What happens when you need a separate piece of state for every single item in a dynamic list, like a to-do list? An atom family is like a factory for atoms. It's a function that generates a unique atom for each parameter you pass in, like an item's ID. It is the perfect solution for managing collections of state. Now for the million-dollar question, how does Recoil stack up against all the other tools out there? Because let's be real, knowing when to choose a tool is just as important as knowing how to use it. Let's start with the classic, Redux. The differences are pretty stark. Where Redux is famous for its boilerplate, Recoil is incredibly minimal. Where Redux has that single central store, Recoil uses that flexible, interconnected graph. And its built-in async handling is a massive win over needing middleware for Redux. But what about a more modern competitor, something like Zustand? Zustand is fantastic for its simplicity. It really is. It's like a lightweight little control panel for your state. Recoil, on the other hand, is really built for complexity. Its atomic model and built-in selectors are specifically designed for orchestrating those really intricate relationships between different pieces of data. And that brings us to the most important question. When should you actually reach for Recoil? It truly shines in applications where state isn't just a list of values, but a complex web of dependencies. Think about data visualization tools, collaborative editors like Figma, or complex AI dashboards where changing one little filter can cause a ripple effect across the entire UI. I absolutely love this analogy because it just perfectly captures the feel of each library. Redux is like a strict, auditable accountant's ledger. Zustand is a simple, direct control panel. But Recoil is a dynamic neural network. It's a living, breathing system that adapts, reacts, and understands the deep connections within your app's state. So if there's just one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Recoil is your go-to solution when you need to manage a web of complex, computed, and interconnected data. It's truly built for the kind of dynamic applications we're building today. And that leaves us with one last question, a question for you to think about. As you plan your next project, think about the nature of its state. Are you building a simple control panel, or are you architecting a complex, interconnected neural network? The answer to that question will guide you straight to the right tool for the job.